Now this video is an introduction to people who haven't read the web novel, but if you have read all of Lord of the Mysteries, you probably should still stick around because there's going to be a lot of interesting things that you'll probably enjoy. So let's break down on what exactly is Lord of the Mysteries. Well, it's a Chinese web novel written by an author named Cuttlefish. It has elements of Souls-like things with Cthulhuism, and then you also have that steampunk aspect, and it also has, of course, mysteries in it. And the reviews for Lord of the Mysteries come in at a whopping 4.85 out of 5. So what made it earn that super high rating? Of course, there's the power system and the mysteries, but in my personal opinion, I think they earned it from the main character, Klein Moretti. Klein Moretti is that classic transmigrator from the modern world, taking all of that knowledge and putting it to use in a more historic timeline. And of course, Klein has an OP ability called the Gray Fog, which is basically a pocket dimension that he can pull people up into if they meet certain requirements. Now you're noticing a lot of really mystical stuff here, and that's what this world is full of, a lot of mysticism, which is the beauty of Lord of the Mysteries. In this world, people can become supernatural by drinking potions, and these people are called Beyonders. To become a Beyonder, you have to select a pathway, and there are 22 different pathways to choose from, all based on the 22 major Arcania tarot cards. And once you choose a pathway, you then have to figure out how to make the first potion to become a sequence 9 of said pathway. And in this video here, you can see Klein advancing to sequence 9. So now you're probably thinking, okay, there's supernatural powers involved, but what else is there to look forward to? And oh boy, am I glad that you asked that question. Let's start off with just the Tarot Club meetings. This is where he pulls his little posse into the Gray Fog to have discussions and also share information. This is one of the best parts of the web novel because you get to see Klein act as some godlike figure known as the Fool. And one of the most underrated parts about this whole web novel that I personally love is seeing our boy Klein go from rags to riches. Every single volume you get to see him increase his wealth more and more, go through the highs and lows of investments, and it's just amazing watching this man grow into a rich, wealthy man. And without giving huge spoilers here, Klein also has to transform himself into a bunch of different personas and identities, and that is also an amazing part. With each identity, he also basically gets a power up, so you get to see him not only become stronger, but in a sense become cooler whenever he changes his personality. And of course, Lord of the Mysteries would not be Lord of the Mysteries without the absolutely insane world building. I'm pretty sure if you ask any fan of Lord of the Mysteries, they're going to say that the world building is top tier, A1. And the villains in this are also A1. I mean, the first one that you're going to see for season 1 of the anime is going to be this guy called Ints Zhang Will, and he is absolutely goated, but there's way better ones. Like, he's just kind of the first one. You also run into later in the web novel Adam and Amon and other people who are comparable to their level, and they're much cooler, but still the villains in this are just crazy insane. And I know that the visuals for the Dongwa or the anime or whatever you want to call it are also going to go crazy, especially with a huge budget that Lord of the Mysteries is putting behind it. If you really don't want to read Lord of the Mysteries, or at least not read like the first volume, you can wait until the Dongwa comes out in 2025 and then read it after. But I'm telling you, just reading it now will not even like ruin the fun of the Dongwa coming out. It's actually going to increase it, if anything, because you get to see all the cool references and get to see what Klein looks like whenever you compare it to the imagination in your head versus what the people who made the Dongwa want it to look like. And Lord of the Mysteries is both a blessing and a curse, because not only is it so good that you don't want to read anything else, but it's so good that you don't want to stop reading it. I literally had to sit there and take the full month whenever I started reading it and only dedicate it to reading Lord of the Mysteries. I skipped out on college classes and skipped out on going to work just to read Lord of the Mysteries because it's that good. And one thing that didn't help my own obsession and the community's obsession with this web novel is the amazing fan art that comes out of this. I swear the Lord of the Mysteries fan art goes way harder than anything I've ever seen in my whole life. These artists actually need to be paid bajillions of dollars for their absolutely crazy visuals that they produce completely for free most of the time. Now, of course, this would not be a proper introduction into Lord of the Mysteries without telling you where to read it. So let's go over that. Now, of course, you can use webnovel.com, which is where a majority of people do go to read this, but I personally use an app on my phone called Novel Reader. I know it's available on the iOS, but I don't think it's available on Android App Store, whatever that's called, but it is really fantastic, and it lets you also download chapters, so I recommend that for any iOS users. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe.